All right, good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Doesn't look like we have anything on the economic calendar for this morning. After open anyway, we have the crude oil inventories at 11:30, but I don't usually pay too much attention to that. It does show that there's FOMC meeting minutes at 1500, which is after the trading session, but it may affect it leading up to it. I'm not sure, but we'll see how it goes. Other than that, no new news that I'm real interested in this morning. I think there was there was the non-farm employment change, which went up significantly. So big green on that one. Start out on our daily chart. We have the swing ended up holding. We pushed a new high yesterday, and then we did get rejected back down. Now today, so far, we are still an inside candle, so hard to say. Is interesting to me that this swing point, you know, it broke its lows and then we came right back after it had already tested. So there's higher probability for me that this holds to make another high than breaking it, but you know, that is the daily chart, but we shall see. Hourly chart, pretty big looking range up here. Kind of plays into the daily chart quite nicely. We're kind of smack dab in the middle. We did successfully fail that breakout that we talked about yesterday morning, and if it were to play out, we were expecting a nice larger pullback, which we did get. Didn't go quite as far as you'd think it would go still, but this is still our swing point to break. There's nothing really in between. For me, everything after like this big green candle is all chopped. There's no real setups. Swing point is here and here. Not anything else really to say after that. It does look like we tried to hold a higher low. Now we've like retaken the moving average, trying to hold that. So that could push us back up again. Do we hold like some form of supply line here? I mean, it kind of looks like we're already through it. And now looks like we're back testing it, so might not be anything. But if we hold the moving average and make a new high up over here, we could continue to coil in this area, or the higher low may play out and we may come all the way up and test above this little swing point here. Now if we get back that high, it will, I mean, it would be a two-leg pullback, but we'd already be all the way back to the high because of how big this swing point was. So it'll look extremely bullish. It would not be a good actionable thing for me at all. But worth noting, so far it looks like we're trying to hold a higher low, and now we are trying to hold the moving average on the hourly. It is pretty choppy here on the 5-minute chart in this area, but so far it is holding so far. So we'll see kind of price action the open gives. I think we're opening basically right at where we closed. Yeah. Not really going to be opening up with a gap this morning. So minimal gap plus inside price action so far on the daily. It's all we got. And no major economic release after the open until the FOMC minutes at 3 o'clock, which is after the trading's done for us. But all of those things could play together for a range day. So we'll wait and see. We did get quite a snap there halfway through, or 3/4 of the way through the day. Came all the way back up, retested that top underside, and then ultimately did fade off quite a bit overnight, retesting the lows, and now we're pretty much just sideways. So lots of inside price action. Mark our yesterday's high and low. And now we wait patiently. I don't really have a huge opinion, I guess, going into this morning on which direction I really want to trade. We're kind of dead nuts in the middle of this range, so we'll see what kind of price action develops. And go from there, I think. We got 2 minutes, minute and a half till bell. Hopefully we don't stay between these two swing points all morning. That'd be pretty nasty for me. It's a really big range though, so we could for sure. Especially leading up to the FOMC at 3 o'clock. My dome not working. There we go. Locally now on the 5-minute chart, we've made a few legs off this little reversal pattern. Still respecting it at the open so far. Looking more and more likely for this hourly chart to come back up and test above 88 potentially, unless they yoink it. And then that would probably be a high deciding factor on if we're going to stay range-ish. If we fail a breakout above here, start to come back down, maybe the coil on the hourly chart continues. That'd be a pretty useful piece of information. This 5-minute candle testing above all this looks really bad so far, but we do have 3 minutes left in it, so it could completely change. Oh, broke through down to the downside. See if it can poke below its little swing low point here. It's kind of created a high one opportunity on the hourly chart here in the middle of a coil situation though. Do we fail a breakout to the downside or do we continue? Checked under that swing now. Still going. No fade opportunity there on that breakdown. May get continued pressure. Push so far looks now, I mean, it looks a little different. It kind of looks like they want to check below yesterday's low. A little bit of a buy up here. Decent spring, actually. Checking above this little hesitation area. Good reaction. Wow. Came all the way back up and testing what we lost now. So we didn't actually break anything or really test this little local swing low. Didn't go below it or anything. Never really, nothing major. Hey, good morning, man. No problem at all. Never have to be sorry for anything like that. Thanks for being here. Hope everything's okay, dude. So we did get a little reaction off the moving average test. Kind of lines up with some of the ceiling here of what we lost. Makes sense. Was quite a pop though. May hold a higher low. See. Still downward pressure though, hasn't flipped yet. Oh, I got you. Welcome. Kind of hesitating here. Didn't break above that little buy-up candle yet though, which doesn't look super good for longs. Not yet anyway. 3 seconds left on this candle. They close it bearish. They did. It's inside though. Oh, here we go. There it goes. Okay. Pretty good chance the higher low works then and we get another peak up. Should see a break over this 79 top. A double top so far. We're gonna peek above it. There it is. Yeah. Good strong breakout above it too, actually. It's like we're going all the way up. I don't know where that trend line came from. It was from something I drew yesterday, and it's interesting that it was still kind of respecting it. Ooh, little snap sell there. Well, sellers were definitely still present up there. Wow. It's not what I was expecting after that. I mean, we're getting a slight hesitation just above the swing point, but that approach, I mean, I wouldn't be a buyer above that swing point or risking off that swing point, but could maybe bounce to the moving average or something. See if it does. This is the swing point to hold. Oh, you got a few points off it if you risked off that low. Wonder if this lines up. Not yet. Still holding though. It's held longer than I expected. That's for sure. Definitely looks like there is buyers here. Like it keeps trying to dip and then gets bought up. Oh, are we finally gonna get it? Get the push? Still holding. It's a big, heavily traded area right now. This is like the high volume area of the day. Kind of chilling in the middle. Be honest, I'm not really interested in either direction. Didn't get the follow through either way that I was kind of interested in. Not that there was any trade setup, but even just far as analysis wise, like we have yet to break this swing point, so that's still in play, right? This is the most recent swing to push a high. Technically, this is the trend, right? We are down. We did do a two-leg pullback, failed again at the top, didn't trigger the reversal yet by breaking that other swing point, but it is holding, or trying to hold. But maybe distribution here for them to actually push through. If it holds here and comes back up above 77, 75, man, that's greasy, greasy price action. We even broke under this little tiny swing here, but not the true one yet. I'm gonna take another stab at it. Equal bottoms, we gotta go through. There it goes, okay. It did go through a little bit. So it's more likely now that we will push a new low. before breaking a higher point. Gotta just wait. There's really not anything for me to do here. It's trying to buy back up, which makes sense. We did break below into liquidity. So we could check even above here. It would be greasy, but we could absolutely check there for liquidity before we go lower above the swing point. Come back up, test there, then roll. Could happen. That would be the maximum pain for, you know, before it went down. There's our maximum pain area. Now, do we fail from here and respect it? We technically have a potential reversal trigger by breaking this swing point, or it one time straight up and over and this was a trap level. It's kind of pushing through it. Didn't like fail right at the liquidity point. Definitely not look like it wants to fail at the liquidity point. Looks like it may have been a trap. Which is a good piece of information as well. Hasn't trapped yet technically, but it sure is squeezing. Kind of difficult trading. Gotta have that going on. And it's a larger time frame wedge as well. We'll see if this trap pops us up over. Potential failure candle off the wedge, maybe. Did trigger now off of that. We do have a candle that went lower. We come right back down and hit this wedge now again. Trying to hold our middle line. First candle to make a high right here. It's our high one opportunity off a potential hold. It looks like it held a retest. Looks good. Come back, retest entry location. Right there. Is that going to be a reversal though? Didn't double top to the tick. Could just be an entry retest. Knock out those break evens before the true breakout. It's gonna close pretty bad. Looks pretty bad. Technically it didn't double top to the tick though. It didn't extend either. But that is a pretty nasty bearish candle from the same location. Some people would definitely be reading that as a nice double top. I just don't unless it's exact or above, but so it plays into the same higher lows or lower high concept I'm not a fan of. Difficult though. Technically this is a high one opportunity, but price action in a wedge for a context, not really a good context for taking that type of trade. Inside candle. We didn't get follow through on that big sell-off candle yet, so the odds of continued upward is increasing the longer it takes to trigger. Still hasn't triggered. Could trigger here. There's the one tick trigger. Oh, looks a little bit better. It definitely looks like it's trying to fail. It's just not like a perfect failure for me. What's our volume count like? Pretty average, actually. We're at like 160. Yeah. Fairly standard. We gonna hold, or is this gonna be another little flag right here? Flagging on the top of the wedge. It's interesting. It definitely hasn't had follow through yet like it should have for a failure like this. Failed breakout, should have some follow through relatively quickly, and we didn't. We kind of coiled and then are curling up. We're already back at the high. Getting a flicker sell again. I think that we do see above 83.25, even if it's only like a tick or two and then it fails, sure, but I think it really wants to check above it. We got higher lows and a flat top, basically. Another flicker sell. Difficult area, boys. Difficult area. Got a few attempts now at highs and lows. It's almost like a square range now. It did break just a tiny bit below our you know, demand line there that would have been holding up these higher lows. Would have been something like that. Five-minute chart may decide to do a small pullback. We could go all the way to 77.50 without breaking the swing point. We did check below the swing point. So let's see if it acts as a little range. And now we checked a little bit below the range to take another swing at the top. Or if this is just a failed top and we're going to come back down and check the bottom of the wedge. Kind of nasty price action. A little bit of a buy up back in. Does the retest hold? We go lower. Check the bottom of the wedge. Did go a little bit lower. Yeah, extremely nasty, man. See if it respects the bottom of the wedge again. I'm not gonna lie, this surprised me a lot. This double top really looked like it was like failing to hold it down, and we were curling back up. Like that looked really good for you know, a breakout of some trapped shorts right there, but it didn't. It came right back down. That's some dirty price action. Look what today's price action did to the Bitcoin. We opened right here. Got a nice rejection candle back down after two leg pullback, and then one push up, reject all the way back down, got the trigger candle, and then it got bought all the way back up, actually engulfing the whole failure candle and going above. And now we're hesitating again. Greasy. I'm gonna remove this top line. I think it's not really respecting it all anymore. Well, our analysis pre-market of being undecided on either direction because it was kind of just nasty price action on a larger time frame. It was, you know, don't really have a whole lot to go off of, and it could get nasty, has played out exactly. We didn't really have a direction that we were super convinced of. The hourly chart was pretty nasty looking, just kind of wedging itself after a large swing at the end of yesterday's close. Never breaking below that high or low. Brutal. Brutal. I'm hoping that at some point here somebody kind of gets a little bit of a push, or we break out of this small wedge. Price is getting tighter. Maybe our line is more like something like this now. Just wish I could include that other one, but even if we did it something like this, I guess you could say that would, nah, it looks pretty nasty. Either way, we can see it's a wedge. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're getting even tighter. Another attempt at the top of the wedge. Still hesitating, no breakout yet. They're not even really good fade opportunities, because even though we're getting nice rejection like bear candles, there's never any follow through to the downside. As I say that, this will be the one, but right, we've gotten so many now, and if you used any of them as a signal candle, you're not even getting a one-to-one trade before it comes back. This is just one of those mornings. Best to just sit on my hands. Is this the one? Was that the one? Maybe this one was the one. Is this gonna be the one? Boys, this is rough. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty rough. I got too much coffee in me. I'm fidgety. Well, the longer this takes, the more and more, I mean, it's kind of already confirmed what we had assumed. Quite choppy, very like not really a directional market. When I looked at the economic calendar, I think it showed there's FOMC meetings at 3 p.m. my time. So like this afternoon, right? Yeah. And the market on the larger time frame was kind of like, right? I wasn't really expecting much, didn't really have an opinion. Expected range. And I mean, I guess that's what I've been given. This could all line up and, you know, kind of go hand in hand with potential market waiting for information. The minutes from last meeting, right? Okay. Yeah, the FOMC minutes. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Brutal slow day. Not anything actionable. How you doing this morning, man? Thanks for your message too, or your comment. By all means, please continue to, like, you know, ask or critique or anything, like, because I'm just trying to learn too. So anytime that anything you think is like constructive for me, please hit me up. We finally breaking out of the wedge, boys? Is this it? Took so long that I'm like, I don't even know what to think about it anymore. There's a nice liquidity pocket right there though, between all these highs and the actual high a day, that's for sure. If we can get through that and break up, maybe. Yeah, for sure. That is a constant battle I have with myself for sure. And the more times that I end up like struggling with a certain situation, I try to come up with a more systemized piece for that decision. And yeah, like I did follow my discretion there on like, you know, how I decided and whatnot. So I did miss technically a trade that worked, but at the same time, the trade signal, I can't remember if I wrote it or not. When the market is really stretched like that, I don't expect, because the two-legged pullback for me is my best setup if the context is correct, because it can equal the biggest runner. Now, the context for that one wasn't really correct because I was so stretched on the 5-minute chart, and we had already broken past like larger time frame liquidity levels. So I was kind of expecting hesitation, and the development of it was a little bit more of a buy up than like a hesitation flag 2-leg pullback. The signal bar was so good though. Like that is like the best signal bar I could have gotten. But I really, really would like to have a higher risk reward from the entry bar for extension, because like if I'm only expecting minor extension, gotta kind of take that into account. So for me personally, it was like, well, I don't think it's worth the risk for a possible 1-to-1 when it's not AAA. So I just was like, yeah. And maybe that's the wrong decision. I'm not 100% sure yet, to be honest. I'm very much still learning as well. It's very interesting to me that like that is the like one of the biggest things that you've mentioned to me that you've noticed about me is that thing. Like you've noticed it a few times that I do use discretion and stuff like that. And you are right 100%. We did it. We finally broke out. It is that has been one of the biggest struggles with me in my trading career, and you noticed it right away, which is cool. I try to systemize as much as I can to remove that ability because I suck at it. I suck at trying to make a decision when it's critical, right? I don't like to have to do that. I want to know what I'm supposed to do beforehand. It's difficult to make the decision on the fly without some form of a systematic approach. And sometimes that gets the best of me for sure. I use too much discretion, or I think too much. I allow myself to make too many decisions, and it just prevents me from doing anything sometimes. We finally did it, boys. Now, do we actually fail this breakout, or do we go? We've checked below some stuff now. Now we're checking above. We barely got above so far. Let's see what happens here on the retest. It's not the greatest looking breakout situation yet. Yep. That's where my eyes were looking to. It's definitely been watching for a potential reversal. I really wanted to see a second attempt, but we might not get it. Still never gave a second attempt. I would have liked it to have happened. It may just go the way that it be. Looks like we're gonna get a nice moving average retest. Already gotten in golf bar now on the 5-minute chart. It didn't close above the breakout level. Yeah, looks like the original 1-minute candle that broke was the was my entry chance. It's getting pretty good follow through so far, especially if we can get underneath this moving average now. Come right back down into the mean of the day. Nice. There's your mean. Pretty much right back to the center of the volume. Mean reversion complete. Could keep going if you look at it on a larger time frame. Failed breakout of a large time frame. Come all the way back down maybe. I didn't either. Yeah, I was looking for the 1 minute chart to do a double test to give me something to get it off or a bigger signal candle, but I didn't get either. Like I knew that that looked really bad as the start, but I was really hoping for a second test or for like a bigger signal candle. But hey man, good discipline though, right? Didn't get the setup you really wanted, didn't FOMO into a move, is what it is, you know. There'll be another one. Curious to see if it actually does reject quite far or if it just does like a mean reversion back to where we struggled for so long, where the volume is, and see if it starts to go sideways again. It's good good awareness though, right? Looking for that mean reversion trade or the reversal trade, because of the type of day that we were having, and the other time frames are kind of looking the same way and stuff. It's a good was great, like, you know, structure awareness. From 1 a.m. What price, man? I'm not really sure we're, because my 1 a.m. is like here at like 4773. Our time zones are definitely off. Yeah, for sure. Are you looking at this one here? Yeah, okay, right here. Correct. That's exactly what I was looking at too. Yes. Right here. Looking for a break above it and then a failure. Which, you know, it's there. It did happen, but I was looking so like I liked that for the location, and then I was looking at the 1 minute chart to see if I got, you know, a double top pattern or a tiny little, you know, W or something, or a larger signal bar. Needed something. This was just a tiny bar. It wasn't enough for me, unfortunately. But so yeah, we were looking at the same high, I think, right here, 47.8775. Yes, sir. Damn, dude, we're that many hours apart? Because that was 6 a.m. for me. Oh, okay, I got you. No, this one right here, same spot you're looking. Yeah, this high right here from our 5 minute high, which lines up nice with our hour, like that's our hourly chart, you know, like bigger swing point. Gotcha. to remove my wedge lines now. I'm Atlantic time, which is like, you know, nobody's on Atlantic time except for these the people here, I think. It's kind of a weird time zone. So it's currently 11:39 a.m. Yeah, I'm in Nova Scotia, Canada. So the very far east coast of Canada. Yeah. Yep. These couple little provinces right here go by the Atlantic time zone. So this is retesting technically a low one entry off the moving average. The prerequisite's not there. The context is there. We have a uptrend market that immediately aggressively reversed, but I didn't get the candle prerequisite to take a low one opportunity. So it's kind of like for science now. I'm curious to see if often we do a retest of entry and then continuation, but we'll see if works out that way. I didn't get the prerequisite. I need a minimum of 5 candle one timing in a row, and I didn't get that. We had hesitation. Candle count starts here, 1 2 3 4, and then we have inside, so no trade, but structurally it is there. Context is kind of there. The only other part that makes me slightly nervous is we hit, like, pretty sure that there'd be like a point of control right here through this huge average. There's so many people that trade volume profile in the futures that, yeah, look at that right there, right in the middle. I suspected major hesitation through here. If we can get back down through the point of control, we'll know that, you know, trend did actually change, and we're probably not going to just go sideways around the mean again, but yeah, man, absolutely. It's not good conditions. Not good conditions. Have yourself a good day, dude. Don't risk that capital when you don't have to. Still haven't taken out the swing at 82.50. Does look fairly bearish here still. For us to get down, maybe check underneath. These 3 lines will be very important in a day like today. Either of you ever look at volume profile or market profile? When I first started trading futures, that's what I was taught to use. But I ended up preferring to just read the price action and go off that. I didn't like it either. Just another way for you to sort your data, I guess. But yeah, no, I was not a fan either. I found that it really encouraged mean reversion trading. That's for sure. Or that's what I took from it, but yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Soon as I was like introduced into just reading the candles and learning how to read price action and understanding swing points and like stuff like that, and just spending time watching the charts, I ended up just rather liking the naked chart with the candles and a moving average and just look at it. Yep. You got it. This is kind of what I was expecting. We were going to run into some sideways price action at the same spot. Makes sense. It makes sense. Did check below this little swing point now. Held this one. So we did do another stair step technically. Still only a 1 tick poke, but it's a pretty nasty breakout candle on for our hourly chart. The wedging continues. this keeps downtrending over the next 10 minutes, it's going to close even lower. I mean, it looks horrible now, but if it closed it up higher and closed it as like maybe a doji candle, you could argue continued indecision. But if it closes lower, somewhere in the 70s, maybe even low 70s, that would be big for rejection. But indecision seems to be the better theme of the day. Yeah, I mean, I might call it just to not expose myself. There's really nothing. The condition is horrible. There's nothing that is forming the way that I want or expected so far today. So I feel like it's just a good sign for me to just walk away, not even risk FOMOing into a trade, really. The context isn't there for what I want to do. We had one potential setup that we were looking for. I was interested in that failed breakout for a mean reversion trade, and it did play out, but unfortunately no setup. No double top, no, big signal bar, no nothing. This candle was definitely a rejection candle, but I can't just use that. It needed to be much larger, needed to be like maybe a bigger move up and then it closes a big shooting star, or a big engulf candle, something, if I was going to use a one candle rejection like that off of a larger time frame. Ideally I would have got a failed flag or something, anything, but didn't happen that way, so it's all good. Is what it be. I think tomorrow, we'll just be back at it again tomorrow. Hope for a better trading session opportunity, because today was just not it. But we didn't get chopped up a bunch, so that's good. None of us did. I don't think any of us took any trades or anything, so it's kind of not good conditions, just poopy conditions. So yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'm gonna call it. Take this afternoon to do some review and stuff. We got a little bit of extra time, so seems like a good time for that. And I'll be back at her tomorrow morning, same time. Have yourself a great rest of your day. What I really need to do is I need to create a I really want to make a stream starting and a stream ending screen just to make it a little bit nicer. And I need to like actually make a couple little things for the stream. I don't have any experience designing anything like that and, you know, stuff like that, but it would make it look a lot nicer. But anyways, getting off track. Take care. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.